Hi, welcome back to Lipstick Life Lessons and Unfiltered Answers. I am Jess, and I am here to talk about dating in my 20s. One of the main questions that I kept getting asked is, did you know what you want? I don't know if, like, in my early 20s, I knew what I want. I think in my early 20s, well, it goes back to changing a lot from high school to my 20s because in high school, I think I dated guys based on, you know, their personality and if I enjoyed hanging out with them or not, compared to after my 20s when I started going to college, I kind of started dating more based on how they looked. I don't think at the time I really cared if they had a career because, we were all in school anyways, or what they were going to school for. I didn't want them to go to school. Obviously, I went to school, so therefore, if I needed to date someone, I prefer them to go to school, right? Uh, but then again, I don't think in my early 20s, I was really looking to commit for a life partner. I don't think that was the idea. I was surviving college. I went to school full time. I did internship full time, and I also worked. So I had a lot of responsibilities very young. I think when you have so many responsibilities, you just want to have fun, right? So I think for me, it was more fun, and I definitely looked more for attraction. I mean, were they hot enough or cute enough? I didn't really like the slutty man because, it's just, I didn't want to be one more victim. I think the less I knew about where they've been, the better. If I knew they got around, I tried not to kind of talk to them in that way, kept them more as friends. Definitely for sure, looks was a big deal to me. I think I kind of think looks is kind of still a big deal for me, even now, At the beginning of my 20s, I don't think I was as confident as I am now. I always felt a little self-conscious, but like I wasn't very confident in my early 20s. I probably didn't start till I was 22, 23 that I got a little more confident. I think I realized how confident I was based on the type of men that I was dating. Or, then I started noticing, I actually can get pretty decent men. And, when the options are kind of crazy in college, then you kind of start noticing like, oh, okay, hmm, then maybe there's something special about me. That's um then or maybe I just learned self-love. I don't know, maybe I realized how beautiful I am in my eyes, right? Someone else might think I'm really ugly, which is okay. I don't care as long as I think I'm beautiful. That's all that matters. But I don't know if that's what it was. I remember having a boyfriend in college, and I remember him telling me that I didn't actually, he wasn't even my boyfriend. I remember seeing a guy in college. I was seeing him for a very long time, so we should have been boyfriend and girlfriend by that time. But he wasn't boyfriend material, I guess. He liked to sleep around a lot, and I didn't like that. So there's that. But he was really fun. So, anyways, about this guy, he was one of the guys that kind of opened my eye a little bit more, and maybe for the negative, maybe positive. I don't know. But he was like, Jessica, you really don't realize how beautiful you are. I'm like, really? Maybe I am beautiful. But honestly, I didn't really think anything like, oh my, like I wasn't the type of girl that was like, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. Like that just wasn't me when I was younger, right? Like I said, I never thought I was pretty when I was even way younger than that. Like forget about middle school or high school. I never really thought like, I mean, I always looked good, right? I always like dressing up and I always like look my best. But I never thought like if I walk in the room, I'm gonna be the most beautiful girl in that room. Now I do. Just kidding. I mean, I'm not, but still. I don't know if it was him that kind of made me realize, you know what, I am beautiful. Thanks. I appreciate that. But he said, what makes you the most beautiful is that you don't even realize how beautiful you are. And I was like, thanks. But that always kind of stayed with me. I don't know if because of that I got a little more confident. I'm not 100% sure. But I definitely wasn't confident. Dating sucks, a lot of times. Especially when you think you're only seeing that one person, and in reality, you knock on their door and they're with someone else, and no one got hurt intentionally. I mean, no one got hurt enough to go to the hospital. Just kidding. Words were said. That's all I'm saying. But you know what I mean? Sometimes it kind of sucks. Like we think, oh, maybe I have a decent man, and then shit happens. Or the same with, I'm sure that it happens to guys too, right? Maybe I have a decent woman and she's sleeping around, or she's married and has three boyfriends on the side, and I thought I was the only one. Whatever, right? Dating is not for the weak, and it's more for the assholes that are ready to fuck shit up, I feel. But hey, we still do it, even though it's crazy, right? We're still out there, we're still dating. Oh, I mean, not me, but people. I mean, I think when you're in your 20s, there's definitely a lot of red flags, a bunch. But either you don't care because they're fun to hang out with, or maybe they make you laugh. I don't know. Sorry. You know, but you're like, okay, I'll let it swing. Like, for example, that guy that I went to his apartment and he was obviously there with someone else. I think I might have kept dating him afterward, maybe once or twice. You know? And I don't know if that was, I mean, I feel like that was very stupid of me, right? And I guess I didn't really care. That's what I'm saying. In a way, I feel like in your 20s, when you're dating, it's for like, you gotta be emotionless. Like, no emotion. You just gotta go out there, decide who you wanna mess around with, and be like, hey, you and me, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna have fun. And I think that's what it is. And you don't ask questions. And then maybe, you know, you get lucky and you find a really decent guy and then you just know. I think there's a lot of red flags like that one. Sometimes, you know, when you're young and stupid, sometimes you're texting and they take 5 days to text you back. Like if they're not texting you back, they're not interested. And I think when you're young, you don't really see that. You know, you don't really realize like, oh, why isn't he texting? Or you're just like, oh, you gotta play this game, right? You're thinking, oh, we're playing this game, but in reality, they don't really give a fuck, right? And the same, like, I mean, I've done it. I'm sure 80% of the people have done it. So stuff like that, where like you keep dating someone that in reality are just maybe not worth it, or only call you when they need something. I mean, dating, it's a disaster. I mean, it was fun. So I'm not gonna say it wasn't fun. It was definitely fun, but you know, I wouldn't want to go back to it. No, thank you. I'm just like stressing out about thinking if I ever had to date again. Like, and here's the thing. I knew I wanted someone taller than me because I love to wear heels. I knew I wanted someone that had their shit together. And this is tough, right? Because it's college, so I'm still in college, or going to university. And I was already around 25, about 25 maybe, when I met my husband. And we met at a bar, which is pretty much almost the one place that I was only meeting guys or my friends, right? If I was going to a party, then I met guys at a party, or we went to the club all the time. We went to a club on Monday, you know. We went to a bar on Tuesday, you know. Wednesday there was another bar. Like, let me see if I can remember. I think Monday was Cream, Wednesday was Junkie, Thursday was that place called Jackrabbit. I think they had Thursday. I don't even remember. And obviously Friday, Saturday, you can do whatever you want. Sundays they had that place. I don't remember what it's called, but it's on the corner, and they used to do Metallica on the bottom, and then like use different music on the top. If you're from Scottsdale, you You know what I mean? But that's what we did. We literally, me and my girlfriends, we worked, we went to school, and we fucking partied. We partied a lot. We partied every day, and I think that was how we released our stress. So we were pretty much only meeting guys either at work or at school or out at a bar, you know? And that's just how we met men. There was no dating, and maybe there was dating apps. We didn't have to use that. And don't they charge too? I don't even know. I've never been on one. So, but they charge, right? But this place, like, it's free, and then if you get lucky, maybe they'll buy you a drink. And at 20, like, it was nice to get a drink bottle because I was pretty broke. I definitely did not want to date family men. Not like married men, or I never would date a married man anyway, because I was like totally against that. Daddy issues I have, dad's a cheater, never want to be like them type of thing. Anyway, so I went on a date once with this guy, very handsome guy, and obviously I don't remember his name. He took me to a nice restaurant. He took me to steak place, Capital, I think it's called, Capital Steakhouse or something. It was a really nice steakhouse, and he was a gentleman, opened the door for me, and like very gentleman all the way, right? We're talking, we're hanging out, and he told me he has 2 kids. He's divorced, has 2 kids, and I'm just like, holy shit, that's like a lot of fucking responsibility for me. Like, and even though it was our first day, like all of a sudden for me it was like, nope, I don't want to deal with that. And I should have been a better person and should have told him right there and there, like, I'm sorry, but like, I'm not built for that. I'm really surviving on my own. I can really take care of myself. And not that he was looking for a baby mama. Maybe he was. I don't know. Like, I don't think he was looking for a stepmom, right? Like a kid. I mean, for sure, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be around him. Like, that was just like, I don't want to hear about your kids. At the time, I didn't care for. I mean, I barely care for kids now. I didn't care for kids. I didn't want to be around kids. Like, I was just like, I'm 20, I'm single, and I don't need those little brats to stress my life. I don't remember if I ended up telling him that it wasn't going to work out or what. I don't really remember. I must have just been an asshole and not answer his texts after. Because, I am in my 20s and I am a little immature. I kind of have a feeling I kind of just ghosted him. I mean, I've only ghosted 2 people my whole life, so I'm not that evil, but I have done it. I don't know if it's just because I felt awkward or I didn't want to be a bigger asshole and be like, it's not you, it's your kid type of thing. Because that kind of felt shitty, but, it's better to know, me as a mom now, you know what I mean? I do remember seeing him out at a club once. And I'm like, asking me, and then he's like, and he's like, oh, do I know you? I'm like, nope. Oh, I, but so embarrassing. He didn't really remember me, so it wasn't too bad. That was a very shitty move on me, to be honest. I could have been a bigger person, and I could have been like, hey, you know what, like, you seem awesome. Thanks for the dinner. Maybe let me pay for half. I probably couldn't afford that place anyway, but I had to let it be. But that was a very dick move, and I'm sorry, Lord, for being an asshole when I was in my 20s, and I hope you could forgive me. And if I could go back, then yeah, I would definitely would have figured something out for sure, But I am no longer in my 20s, and I can't go back anyway. So we're just hopefully forgiven and moving on. That was definitely something that I didn't want. It was just all fun and games when you're in your 20s, at least for me. And I had friends that were committed, so most of them just were enjoying it too. Oh my God, there was times that one of our friends was dating one of my exes, and it was so awkward because they had met somewhere or some bullshit, and then I was like, and everyone's like, oh, by the way, that's the place to date him, and they're like, she was like, oh well, I don't think she really cared. I can't remember. And I was like, you can't date him. Obviously, we're not together anymore. But by the way, like kind of stuff, you know. I just kept dating him, and obviously it didn't work out. So I don't remember why, but we're not friends anymore either. I mean, we, we are like social media friends, me and her, but we're not friends. You know what I mean? So then if she would have, I guess if she would have ended up with him, we probably wouldn't be social media friends. It would have been pretty awkward because I did date the guy for like 2.5 years, and I thought I was so in love, but in reality, he was such a dick that I'm glad that I did not end up with him. That I am thankful for. I guess boyfriend material didn't matter as much. I think I met someone if I thought he was hot enough and we hit it off and we just went on a couple of dates and then we just committed to each other and decided that we're not sleeping with anyone else. And in reality, I didn't really have a specific boyfriend material. I was more like, okay, he's hot, he's taller than me, done. You know, because obviously this guy had a shitty personality. He was kind of a kid. Now that I look back, I'm just like, wow, I even put up with that. Like, what in the world was I thinking to allow a man to speak about certain people the way he did? I'm just glad I did not end up with him. Well, actually, I'm glad I didn't end up with any of my exes. I am happy where I'm at. Thank God. I didn't know what I wanted for a husband, which is kind of weird, right? Now it's changed, a little, and I'll explain why. I definitely think that obviously as you grow, things change, right? For a husband, I knew obviously I wanted someone a little bit taller than me. Enough for that if I'm wearing my heels, I'm a little shorter or yay high, right? I wanted someone handsome, someone good looking, and I wanted someone that had their shit together, maybe their own business, or I don't know why I had an attraction for men that had their own business. God was like, you want, you get. Kaboom. And I met my husband at a bar through a mutual friend. Apparently, a guy that I was really close to that was a bartender at Cream was friends with my husband, best friends. They're still pretty close. I saw the bartender, and the bartender is amazing because we always give free drinks. So, what more of a friend do you need? And he'd come over, we'd have drinks. I lived really close to the bar, so my door was open for anyone that needed a place to crash all the time. Things don't change because my door is open at my house for anyone that needs it. Still, I guess some things don't change. Anyways, and I would from time to time I would wake up and I would see my friend on the floor and I'd be like, hey, what's up? With a random, you know? Just kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding. It was always a random. Anyways, but that was just life in Scottsdale. A lot of people were very slutty, and you was one. I've said too much. So I met him at the bar. I went and said hi to him and introduced me to my husband now. I thought my husband was very handsome, very good looking, and I still remember meeting him and being nervous. I don't remember. I think maybe we exchanged numbers there. I think we went for sushi the first time we went on a date. Little did he know that I'm not a big fan of sushi, so I can't even remember what the hell I ordered. I think we went to Kona by the mall and fashion. I think that was our first date. And then I do believe maybe him coming to hang out with me afterwards. My husband had his business going on at the time. He had a bachelor's degree, I believe, in business. We dated for a little bit here and there. And you know what's so funny? He doesn't know this because, he's not a Mary Jane type of guy. But he asked me to be his girlfriend, unfortunately. And because I am a Mary Jane, and because I am a Mary Jane type of girl, no, I'm not. It's my fun years. I am not. But anyways, I remember thinking, oh, it's my 20 today. I will never forget. If he knew I was a Mary Jane girl, he probably would not ask me out. I knew that's who I wanted, so I tricked him into dating me and having a kid with me and getting married, and now he's my slave forever. I have a wonderful husband, so I am glad all of my disastrous dating ended up with him. And I am very fortunate to have found a great man. One, he is taller than me. Two, he is good looking. His sense of humor changes depending on my attitude or gay. Sometimes he's funny, sometimes he's not, most of the time he's not. He is very hardworking, which I appreciate. Definitely a provider. He's great with his kids, and he makes really cute kids. Women do not get an idea. They're all mine. I see you guys writing notes. None of y'all better try to come freaking take him away, because I am Latina. I will fuck some shit up. Okay? Just in case y'all getting some ideas. I did pick well. I definitely picked the best out of everyone I've dated. Sorry, guys. If any of you guys watch my shit, which I doubt it. Sorry. My standards have definitely changed a lot because my husband has made my standards even higher, right? I wouldn't date someone that's cheap anymore. I wouldn't date someone that complains about how much they're spending. I guess that's still kind of cheap. I wouldn't date someone that wasn't a provider. If you're not working or have your shit together, forget about it. For sure, everything else stays, right? But before, I guess I never really thought about like things like that, where how are they with money? Are they willing to work hard if something goes wrong, you know? And I think those are very, very important. But going back to my 20s, I wanted to let you guys know if there's anything I would change is I probably wouldn't date as much. I feel like your 20s should be a little more of self-care. But I think most of us are a hot mess when we're in our 20s. You know, we have all those emotions from barely surviving teenage years to all of a sudden now we're in our 20s with all this freaking responsibility, school, work, life, you know, and I think that's enough. I think maybe if you want to date one guy here, one guy there, maybe, but I would for sure limit it to dating because in reality, it's a lot of work when you date. It's a lot of work, and you know, it's just, I think why waste your time? I mean, I guess people like to get laid, so maybe that's why they're like, nope, stress relief. Maybe don't take it too serious and be picky as fuck on who you're dating because you are very valued as a woman, as a man. Like, you guys are like, it's you. It's our own person, right? It's who we are working to make better. We work so hard for ourselves. We work so hard to get educated. We work so hard to get a job. We work so hard our whole life. We're just working and working. So I think dating should be a little easier. I think that as soon as you get a toxic, a red flag, fine. Like if like some guy tells you something and you're just like, you're 27 and you live with your mom still, fine. Or I don't know, they tell you they have a foot fetish. I've heard if you have a foot fetish, it's because you lost your virginity to your sock. So that's just weird. I guess I would be pickier when I was younger. I wasn't as picky. But maybe that's a good thing too, because then I didn't commit till later. Or maybe I didn't commit because none of the guys were worth it, right? Maybe I hadn't found my forever, and once I found him, I don't know. But honestly, I would concentrate on self-care because, you know, once you're married, then comes kids, and then your kids take so much of your time. So when you're 20, I think just enjoy life. If you're going to school, go to school. Have fun, date, and don't date losers. You know, date a guy that just in case you're dumb and you come up pregnant, the guy's worth. I guess for me, it's always like sleep with who you would be okay having as a baby dad. That is my biggest tip. So if you would be willing to have a kid with that guy, then do. If not, then don't. That way you're not wasting your time either. And all the headaches and all the douchebags out there. Then you start like cutting all the bad dates. So You know how they say nowadays, like, set your boundaries, right? Set your boundaries. I think that's something that for sure when you're dating, like, set your boundaries, like, from the get-go. And that way you know who you want to date, who is willing to accept you for who you truly are and your expectations of what you need in life and the same for that person. Like if they have boundaries and then you know yes or no, whatever. I think that's amazing. Set your boundaries from day one. Show them what you need, show them what you're willing to go for, and show them what they're willing to take. That they can hopefully show you what they're willing to take as well. Take your time, relax, set your boundaries. That way from like day one, they know how crazy you are. I was definitely a little toxic. Well, I guess, no, I'm not toxic anymore. Okay, whatever. Who said that? But honestly, I guess it depends on the guy. I was a little toxic. But more like now where like I was toxic because I was toxic, but more where I didn't give a fuck. And I wasn't going to be played with. So if you try to pull a soft one on me, it wasn't going to work. So maybe not toxic, but maybe toxic too. I don't know. I am Latina after all, and they say that we're pretty toxic. And technically we aren't. We just don't give a fuck. At least I don't. So, I mean, either way, whatever douchebags I dated before obviously got me to where I sit. Got me to my husband, and that I am. I don't think at then, I don't know if I was looking for love or if I was just looking for companionship. I don't know if I was looking for, definitely not attention, because I've never been the girl that hasn't gotten attention. I think you just date because you're bored when you're younger, right? Or what do people date for? I don't know. Maybe love. Love. And then you realize that half the people you dated, you thought you loved, wasn't even really love. That's what I'm saying, like, I know we're not as picky when we're young, but I think we should definitely be really because it's just gonna help survive a lot of headaches. No point. You know? If there's a red flag, next. Red flag, next. Okay, maybe I can deal with that red flag. Red flag, whoop, bye. This, oh, hell no, I don't want to deal with that. You know, I don't know, whatever it is. Why are some red flags that I can't even think that far out for sure. I actually was just telling someone that was complaining about how her boyfriend was like so bitchy about her staying up late when she was hanging out with family. And I was like, damn, that sounds pretty toxic. And she was like, well, we can kind of, get in his little moods or whatever. And I was like, hell no, girl. I'm like, they don't change. Okay? We don't change. We are who we are. If we're toxic, we're toxic. I'm just kidding. But we don't change much, right? We do change, I think, sometimes a little. I think I've changed a lot, obviously, from when I was single to being married, and we do have to change a little bit. But for the most part, if you allow it to keep happening, a lot of us, we don't change, right? It's very hard for someone to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm 100% changed my way that I've been for 27 years, all of a sudden for this girl. No, it's not going to happen. So I think there's certain things that you can change, but a lot of times their personality is just who they are, So if they're already being a little like crazy, then red flag, bye to the next, right? Because no one needs that. I feel like we all want to feel comfortable with the partner we have, and it's hard enough, especially once you pick your partner and then you do get married. It's a whole different ballpark, So I think try to date someone that, for sure is going to be worth your time. If not, keep going. I guess now you just keep scrolling, right? So easy. And boring, too. How would you even know? So when you meet someone at the bar, you can tell right away if he's kind of douchey, what he's about, And if you meet someone, can you tell? By pictures? What if, like, he looks so hot or he's, like, perfect, and then you meet him in person, he's like, has, like, a squeaky voice or something, and you can't have a serious. That's just a waste of time. So hot in Arizona, it's like, Not even worth getting ready, going outside, melting by the time you get to your car, melting by the time you get to the restaurant, and then only to be lied to. I don't know. I don't know. So one thing about when I was younger, and maybe that's most younger women, right? Maybe that's just what it was here in Scottsdale. I was always getting hit on by like older men. And then for them, it was like, oh, I have money, so you have to date me. And I've never been attracted to older men. Even now, I don't think never was like, oh, that guy that's 20 years older than me is really hot. Like, it's never been a thing for me. I felt weird, and I don't know if it's because my dad dates a lot of younger women. I'm not sure if that's why, but like, I've never been attracted to older men. I'm just like, nope, thank you. Thank but no. Oh yeah, you can buy me nice things. I can buy it myself. So I've always been that type of girl where I'm like, I don't care how much money you make. Maybe now it's a little different. Now that I have a husband that makes really good money, then I wouldn't want to go back to someone that didn't make good money, right? That's what I'm saying. My husband, like, now my standard is like, oh, he did it so that I never find another man. Oh, but girls go and look for sugar daddies, I guess. I don't know. But for me, that was not an option. And all the time, like, I didn't even care if you were like 5 years older, maybe 5 years older, something like that. I don't even remember. But I just wasn't a big fan of the older man. They were always after me. I don't know. I guess I just looked like a young girl that wanted to be taken care of. I have no idea. I don't know. But yeah, that definitely was a no. I didn't really like dating someone that was way shorter than me either. Once I was like, partying because I'd always wear heels, and I don't know if there's anything wrong, but I just always imagine me with a taller man, you know? I did kind of shut down a couple of men because of their height, which kind of sucks, I guess. But, they'll find the right person. Because they weren't meant to be with me, so who cares? Like, I shut them down so that they were able to find their forever love. I helped them out. It wasn't like a negative thing. I literally helped them to find their forever love by shutting them down. So you walk up. Okay? I don't know. If you want to hear some crazy dating stories other than the two I've already said, it will have to be in another episode. The thing that sucks about dating in your 20s, I feel it's like when you get your heart broken, you get under another one, and then you're like, feel. Just when you get your heart broken, it sucks. Because I feel like when you're in your 20s, you're so emotional. At least I was. I don't know why I was so emotional. I remember just being such a hot mess. And oh my god, my life is gonna end. Like that's how I was. That's what that is. I think also it was because I had no self-love, a long time to self-love myself. A very long time. I think maybe the insecurity of that, I used to get more emotional. I used to always think I was gonna end up by myself because I had like a 2-year cut for every serious boyfriend I had. I mean, I haven't had a lot. I probably had 3 serious boyfriends, and they all lasted 2 years. And I thought that was kind of weird. Somehow, most of the time, it was me. So I kind of feel like, I don't know if I like self-destructed, or I really don't know what it was. I always felt that maybe I was going to be well by myself, alone, with no kids, or not like my dad. That was my biggest fear, as weird as it sounds. Oh, maybe I do have daddy issues. Oh my god. Oh my lord. Not anymore. I am married with kids. Those daddy issues are like with my heels. I always thought I was going to end up by myself. I always thought, this is it. With your loneliness. Even now that I'm with my husband, I'm just like, is this forever? Is he going to smoke with me? I mean, we passed the 2-year cut already. I mean, we survived that. So I guess we'll see. Stay tuned. He ain't going nowhere because I'm so cute. And I ain't going nowhere because he's had set my standards up so high that I will not be able to find nobody else. I think when you're dating in your 20s, you're so worried about what the guy thinks. Will the guy call you? How long should I wait till he calls? Am I the only one who sees? Is this going anywhere? You know, like you have so many questions that I feel like you're the most important. Like screw them. Like that's a big lesson I think I've learned is that the only person that's important at the moment is you and your happiness and how you're being treated. And you gotta treat yourself with respect so that they can treat you with the respect that you deserve. Put yourself as a value up there, like, hey, this is what I have to offer. These are my boundaries. And enjoy the ride or I'll move on to the next one. So I feel like I wish I had a fairy that would be like, slap yourself, Jessica, get your shit together. You're worth a lot more. You know? Because, like, I did have a lot of heartbreaks. They suck. But it's okay. Like I said, it led me to where I'm at now, and that's okay. But, I mean, it's like your world just ends when there's a heartbreak, you know? And, I don't even want my children to go through that when they're dating. But at least I'll be able to give them all the advice I can, like they'll listen, right? But, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's just so hard when you're dating in your 20s. Oh my God. But I really hope that people in their 20s now realize their worth, find themselves a good man, a good woman that knows boundaries, that knows how to treat them, that always is respectful. Because that's one of the biggest things we lose sometimes, right? Respect. We stop giving a fuck. Why? I don't know. So maybe just, you know, put it in your head like, hey, I will not accept this. And if you can get with the program, go find your house another fucking program. And I can have someone else that is willing to accept my boundaries, respect me, love me, show me that I am worth everything, right? That's how we want to feel. We want to feel like we're worth this and that and that and that and everything. We're worth everything in the whole world. That's what we need to find. Because that's my biggest lesson, you know? Be picky. Because maybe right now you're thinking, oh, I'm just having fun. But you never know. You know, make sure that the guy's not freaking nasty and you're not going to catch something. Always use protection. Get on birth control. Like, one little wrong turn and your whole life changes, right? Just, you know, be picky. Be fucking picky. Have fun. Use protection. Use protection. Use protection. Because the world is ugly and you don't want your penis or something to fall off. So just be careful. And note to my younger self, you really should have known your worth. Now I do, so it's okay. But I really think that one friend I had really opened a whole different level of self-love. And even though it didn't really mean much, right? But just for him saying that, I was like, oh, I am beautiful. I guess at the time I didn't really realize that, and honestly, I was a hot mess because I was so insecure, because I didn't know my worth. And it took me a while to learn that, and I mean, eventually I did in my 20s, so that's great, right? I mean, it just only got harder for men to date me, but the right one will come along. You just gotta be patient. I have a handsome husband that is an amazing provider and also an amazing father. He's a great guy. So I do think that the time will come when you find the right man. And be patient and be smart. But, yep, never go back to my 20s and date again. Ugh, I will never want to date again. Oh my gosh. I have some of the friends I have that are dating in their 40s, and I'm just like, what a nightmare. Then also some of them are having a lot of fun. So But either way, next episode, we will be talking to my sister and comparing her 20s to her 40s now that she's single again. She's been single for a couple of years, and we will talk to her about how it was to date in her 20s if she remembers. She's older than me. How it is dating now in her 40s. I hope you really had fun with dating in your 20s. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time. See you later.